So a very strong part of be collaboration is the word be. The idea of who are we being. And inside our pack it says context is key. Context is key. But made simpler is who am I being right now? Just think about that in your own seat. Right now, who are you being in a word or two? Like, is it accidental? Is it default? Is it like, what the hell? I don't even know what you're talking about, Erkan. Or is it something you manage? Who am I going to be as a gift, a responsibility you're taking on to be a certain way, to manage your being? You know, earlier on I said, oh, hi, I'm a blah, 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 blah. You all laughed, didn't you? You've all done that, haven't you? Probably today. Somewhere someone says something, you shrank. You know? What about if you had a handle on your being that allowed you to turn the flame up? Who here has a gas cooker? Hob. You just turn the flame up. Or you dial it down if you want. It's your choice. Going back to Carol's talk, wasn't it? Choice was a big part of it, wasn't it? Who am I going to choose to be right now? So who here's got an answer? 1 or 2 word answer on who are you being right now? Anyone got an answer?
I'm a curious observer.
Fantastic. Brilliant. What else? Thank you. Go on. Well, you just giggled. You can't just giggle.
No one's saying anything. Everyone's too scared to say anything.
So think about it. I asked a question and everyone's gone, do I say anything? Don't I say? What was it? What happened? There was a group being all of a sudden, wasn't there?
I think for me it was just trying to find the words to articulate a feeling, which we know is not possible, but because it comes out clumsily. It's, who am I being? Just serene and present.
Beautiful. Now, is that something you created as a context, or you just that's like, oh, who am I being?
Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah. On the way here, I have my objectives for the meeting, conversations I want to have and stuff like that, because I've become a lot more intentional. And I love the question at the beginning of the thing is, what are we parking behind? And a couple of conversations I had before I left, which I didn't want to bring into the room. But you do need to be reminded.
So you cleared that to be serene.
To be serene.
Great. Did you get that? So that was something that was consciously cleared to be serene. Anyone else? Alan? Linda? Sorry.
I think for me, on the other side of that is, as you know, I came a bit late, and it, you know, I've been to the hospital with my dad, and you know, that's fine. But it was, I could have gone home and just said, oh, you know, I can't be bothered, or do I go along to the meeting? And for me, it, you know, there wasn't a choice really. It was, yeah, I'm going to go along to the meeting because I want to be there. I want to be in that space, because no matter how I feel or what happens, it doesn't really matter. I can just be me. I can be authentic.
So for you, it's authentic. Great.
Yeah.
That's. Oh, I'm glad you came.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Totally.
And there's not many spaces that I can say in my life that I can actually be on there.
So there's times where I have been authentic and I've been challenged and criticised about it.
Me too. I love that.
What, people couldn't be with your authenticity?
Yeah, I was being real as it was, as at the time, and they're saying, well, why are you like that? Can't you just park whatever it is over there and it's like you can't win?
That's why I'm reserved.
It's like,
Yeah, I'm confused.
No, it's brilliant.
Okay, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring it back because I'm going to run out of time very quickly. So I've set the scene. So context is something to be managed. Can we get that? You can choose to be happy and you may not feel happy. You could choose to be productive and you may not feel that productive right now. In Be Collaboration, we've chosen and articulated some core values and culture principles, right? And one of them is collaboration. Now, we've distinguished collaboration as humanity at its best. That's what we came up with. We made up something, and that's what we've been working with, right? So if we think of collaboration, what do we think of in terms of it being something to manage, or an inquiry into what could collaboration mean to us? Or how are you using collaboration? Even if you haven't thought about it, look back and go, oh yeah, I kind of collaborated there. I can see how I did something with, you know. Okay, Who's got something to add? It's an inquiry, there's not a right answer.
I was excited.
So the idea of collaboration is exciting.
Yeah, I was excited about coming here today to see everybody because, you know, we didn't see each other in December, and I thought I was excited. And I had a one-to-one with Simon, so I was really excited about that as well.
Simon looks up.
Hey, you just woke Simon up. Stop it.
He's like that. He's like, me? Who?
What was exciting about having the meeting with Simon? I mean, without going into the detail of the meeting, but you know, what was it? What was it? Is there, in your words?
What was exciting about it was, first of all, I have trust with Simon, so trust is really important. And second of all, he's very, very, very knowledgeable in the subject area that I'm not. So it was exciting that I knew that I was going to learn something that would, I would assume, have a great, great benefit to me and my future plans.
So collaboration can put plans.
Yeah, definitely.
By the way, I don't usually do my own scribing, so you probably work it out. Okay, I'm going to take Colin, then Linda, then Vanessa.
So collaboration is one of those things that everybody starts a great thing and is really enthusiastic about. It's a very alluring idea. And very few people actually do it, but that's what we're working on.
So is that how you're defining it? It's an alluring idea.
Yeah, and I think the reason it's an alluring idea is because the associated emotions. So when you are in collaboration with people, then you're releasing all the oxytocin and all those good feel-good chemicals. That's why it's alluring, because people know collaboration feels good.
Feels good. Sounds a bit James Brownie to me, bruv.
Get down.
Get down. I feel good. Okay, who else? Yeah, Linda, please.
I think of perspective, because if you're collaborating with other people, you're getting a different perspective on things. If you're not, if you're very isolated, you've only got your own perspective, your own story, and all those things. So I find collaborating gives you a different perspective on things, and if you're open, you know, then you can grow and learn from that. I'm hearing the growth and learning could be unexpected.
Yeah.
Could unravel. It could unravel. As opposed to A, B, C, D.
And seeing things from a different perspective, you're only seeing things from your perspective, then you're never going to grow and develop and learn, are you? So collaborating with people is
Definitely.
Next is Vanessa, then I'll bait you.
Collaboration for me, I love the word exciting that Claudia used, because you feel valued and it gives you a chance to value somebody else. A really simple example of that is my mum. I collaborated with my mum. We put our heads together last week because we had my dad poorly for 2 weeks at home. It's not been pleasant, and she's tired and struggling and worried and all the rest of it. And she came to me, and we kind of got our heads together about how we can help him better, support mum better, and she valued my opinion. I valued what she was doing in the home. So is that kind of like a really loose example of?
Well, yeah, I was just thinking there was two people, yeah? So that's fantastic. And that gives you, I'd say, a two-dimensional view. And have you noticed I put 3D up here about the perspective? So one of the ways guests and collaborators, to remind you or represents it, that we define collaboration is actually this 3D approach to a subject. So you have a subject, and by having 3 different views of it, you're getting kind of a 3D perspective. Now that perspective could be just the 3 pairs of eyes looking, but there's also, who here has a unique, you know, if Simon looked at something, I already have an idea of how he'd look at it, because I understand Simon. You know, he'd be very methodical, it'd be very detailed, very structured, and you'd have a good, clear idea. He'd not only have a clear idea of it, by the end of it, you'd have a clearer idea about it. Now, I'm going to bring myself in. If I was sitting in the room, it'd be all blue sky and it'd be top level thinking, and by the end of it, you wouldn't know what the hell we're coming up with, right? So you'd have that, right? Then you'd have that.
But so much in the last 3 years.
But then Colin No, not Colin. I'm not going to bring Colin. Yeah, because it's very similar. But Colin, what I know about Colin, he'd bring some kind of workability about it, like something like bring it down to simplicity. Over there, we'd have complexity and process and detail, and it'd get overwhelming. You go, I ain't talking to him anymore. He gets too into the detail. And then maybe if you spent time with me, you'd get into, hey?
You've got to do detail.
You got to do detail, right? But then you start talking to me, it's like, oh, hold on a minute, he's all up in the bloody clouds and he's never just getting grounded and, blah, blah, blah. And then Colin would come along and go, listen, guys, I get it. You're up there, he's here. Let's put it together. I can show you how to get through this. And those
complement each other.
can be complementary. It takes...
I was going to say, what happens when it's not complementary and you've got 3 Simons in a group?
Well, you notice what I already know about those 2 people and about myself. So why would I go... Imagine if I spent all day with someone like me in a room, we'd get nothing done. Sometimes Jill and I don't get anything done. Right? But can you see how that developing those skills can create outcomes that you could never achieve on your own. You come out with something that you couldn't do on your own.
Yeah, this is very true. Yeah. I think there's a real level of appreciation with that as well.
Well, there has to be some ground rules, doesn't there? Because if I'm going to... so think about it. If I'm going to collaborate with Lorraine and I'm pushing my perspective on you all the time, you're going to feel stifled. You're going to feel like, I can't work with this guy. He's a tyrant, a bully. And I get that a lot, by the way. I've heard that before. So it's something I have to manage. But if I'm upfront about it and I tell you, you go, OK, and I've got to say to you, right, sometimes you've got to go, Erkan, enough. I need to bring whatever it is you'd bring to... I don't know you, so what would you bring to the party? Beiju, relax. Just calm down. Just relax. Calm down. Calm down. It's fine. We're going to hear you. It's like, oh, me. No, you didn't, but you know.
Back the story.
It's drama. Drama's back in the room.
I love you, man. But does that make sense? So who here has tried to collaborate with someone where it just didn't fly? And you kind of go, well, I've tried doing partnership, I've tried doing business with people, I've tried doing... And it just like ends up a mush. Yeah, so because there's fundamental principles that need to be in place. Okay? Great. Beiju, please. Come on.
No, joking. So what I said before, just before is collaboration is creation. You create something. There's a creation that happens. It could be a seed, it could be the thing itself, it could be an evolution. Something it's created that's not there without the collaboration taking place.
Bingo. I like that.
The other thing you just talked about when you approach a project, if you or Simon and Colin approach, you have 3 different worldviews. And what really just hit me, because I was on my profiling tool that we've got, we did some work last week on this even more, and that accelerates the process because immediately, as soon as you've got that profile, you understand where they're coming from, big picture thinking, to detail, practicalities, implementation. So that tool immediately, because it's not about personality, it's about how you make an impact.
Bingo.
So the way someone makes an impact is granular.
So
detail.
could I take that and translate it? It's like, actually, if you want to make... So one of the things that's really clear in this community, if there's something you want to do or create an impact, you can only get so far on your own. Somewhere along the way, if you're going to do something really... Look, there's stuff you already know to do. Go do it. You can do it. You don't need anybody. You don't need anyone's advice. You don't need anyone's input. Go do it. But when you start to think bigger than your current level of skills and understanding, you're going to need other people's involvement. And how do you harness that and point it in the right direction? So going back to what you say, you can really accelerate things. You can really make and I've got a lot of examples of that which I'll tell you more about after. Good. And I think I'm going to take Simon and then I'm going to wrap up.
Okay. One example of collaboration that's worked here for me, and that's a distinction from putting a team together of people to actually achieve something that we know we want to achieve, was the comms team came together and said, look, we need something to hang our hat on, we need something a vehicle to project the movement internally and externally. And we go, all right, we'll do blogs, and it was all samey stuff. Then out of that came the Quest. Now, it would not have been we would not have individually come up with that idea. It was a bigger idea because we took it beyond working as a team. Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm going to call that breakthrough outcomes. Although you may not have called it that, I'm going to call it that. Because you come out with something you could have got otherwise.
That's right.
Brilliant. Okay, so that is an example of one of the core values and how it's playing a part in shaping the organisation, the community, but also what we're learning ongoingly. So this is the first core value of the year. We haven't done collaboration on video for a while, have we? So we nailed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, let me just start that.